Eva Humphreys here. I'm a band registered nutritionist and have teamed up with Good Hemp for a series of educational videos. This one takes a closer look at the gut microbiome. Eva Humphreys here. I'm a band registered nutritionist and have teamed up with Good Hemp for a series of educational videos. This one takes a look at the super important topic that is the gut microbiome. The microbiome is a collective term for the microbes that live in and on us. Far from being a scary prospect, these microbes are actually beneficial for our well-being. We need them. There are over 100 trillion microbes in each and every single one of us, the majority of which live in the digestive system. In fact, 95% of these microbes are understood to live in our digestive system. Today, I'm going to let you in on what these microbes do and also look at a few nutritional tweaks that may benefit us. I mentioned that these microbes are beneficial for us, and this couldn't be more true when it comes to nutrients. Our digestive system does its best to try and derive all of the nutrients from the food that we eat. What tends to happen is we take out the nutrients from the food that we've eaten, but there's always a bit left over, things that we cannot digest, so fiber and a few other bits of leftover food. These travel to the large intestine, commonly known as the gut, and over here, loads of bacteria and other microorganisms ferment those fibers. By fermenting those fibers, they get more out of the food that we couldn't digest. As little thank you gifts for us sending that fiber to them, they produce things for us like vitamins. Specifically, they can produce B vitamins for us, including the skin-nourishing biotin and also a lot of vitamin K. Our gut microbes can also influence our digestive well-being. If you've ever been bloated, which let's face it, all of us have, you'll know that gas is produced, and that's generally what may bloat us up. The truth is, there are both bad and good bacteria in our gut, and the relative abundance of them influences whether we suffer with digestive issues or not. One of the hallmarks of irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, which is the study that I featured on the left-hand side, is that sometimes too many of the bad kind of bacteria sneak in and they can mess up the way that we digest things. On the other hand, our beneficial microbes may produce short-chain fatty acids for us, which are these superfuel substances that nourish our gut lining. In this context, the gut microbiome can influence both bad and good aspects of our digestive well-being. They can also switch up a few things in terms of hormones. Gut bacteria can both influence the way that we deal with the hormones that our body produces, and they may also produce some hormones themselves. One notable one in this area is our gut hormones in terms of satiety and hunger. Certain studies, either one on the bottom left-hand side, has pointed out that gut bacteria can make us feel hungry if we haven't given the right amount of fuel to them. So if there isn't enough fiber going into your diet, one reason you may be feeling more hungry is down to these gut microbes wanting a bit more fuel. In skin health, many studies link the gut microbiome to skin conditions such as eczema, atopic dermatitis, psoriasis, and many others. Then we are onto our immune system. Our gut microbes probably play a much bigger role in the development and also the health of our immune system than we possibly give it credit for. Our microbiome educates our immune system as to what to react to. Without having microbes in our gut, our immune system would likely overreact to the presence of bacteria, but we have almost built up a tolerance to these bacteria thanks to our own microbiome. In general, everyday life, our immune system is strengthened by the presence of our microbiome, and they can also help us keep out bad bacteria themselves. Emerging research links the gut microbiome to mood, mental health, and also cognitive function. Our gut microbes can literally speak with the brain or hijack it. We don't quite know yet, but we do know the two are linked. And if there are a large concentration of bad microbes, this may lead to poor mental health outcomes. Okay, so we know that our gut microbes are really important. How do we keep them happy exactly? How do we make sure that we have more of the good ones and less of the bad ones? There are 3 tiers to this: addressing depletions, topping them up, and feeding them. I'm going to talk you through all 3 now. We need to consider that our microbiome is full of living organisms. They aren't always just going to stick around if they don't like the environment that they live in. So a certain number of things really deplete the good bacteria in our gut. The number one being stress. There are plenty of studies that link depletions in the gut microbiome to stress. Think about it. You wouldn't want to live in a stressful environment, and nor do our good microbes. The second is toxins, which is multifactorial, but just to bring a few to your attention. From our food, pesticides can have an impact, as can antifungal agents and certain E numbers that have been added to our food. There are also chemicals that leach from containers like plastic, household chemicals that we use for cleaning, and various other chemicals that we are exposed to through our everyday lives. Medications may deplete our gut microbes, but the biggest one I can mention here is antibiotics, or at least frequent use of antibiotics. Antibiotics are designed to get rid of bacteria, and this is non-specific, so they will impact our gut microbes. Then we have exercise. Exercise may have an impact on the gut microbes if it's done to a really high degree. In studies in marathon runners, we know that there are depletions in the gut microbes because if you really think about it, it just boils down to that stressful environment. Running puts a lot of stress on the body, so this may deplete gut microbes. The very last one is lack of sleep, a little bit like how we can't function on low amounts of sleep, nor can our gut microbes, which may lead to depletions. There is a separate video all about sleep, so if this affects you, please take a look at that one next. If you were looking at that last slide slightly panicked, don't worry too much because there are ways that we can top up our own gut microbes. Consuming fermented foods is one way. Fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, and kefir contain beneficial microbes. The study on the right-hand side showed that when we eat these fermented foods, we may be able to top up our own supply of beneficial microbes. So if they are slightly depleted, adding some fermented foods in may be a good idea. Another way is to spend more time in natural environments. This study on the right-hand side is one of my favorite studies of all time. It was done on preschool children, and they took 54 of them and made them play in 2 different environments. One group went to a playground in an urban setting, and the other group played in a forest. What they found is the group that played in the forest had a much richer gut microbiome because they picked up beneficial microbes from the soil and from the air. Getting outdoors into natural environments like woodland, therefore, might be a good idea. Last but not least, it's really important to give these bacteria some of the good stuff that they actually want to eat. We need to effectively feed them. We know that they live on fiber, so increasing our fiber intake ensures that they have more of the stuff that they prefer. The study on the left-hand side showed that with increased fiber intake, our gut microbiome gets better. We need 30 grams of fiber per day, but sadly, only really 1 in 10 adults achieve this in the UK. There are many ways to add more fiber into your diet, including a handful of hemp seeds. These contain 4 grams of fiber per 100 grams. There is also a hemp protein fiber boost, which contains 15 grams per 30 gram scoop. That's half of your daily fiber intake. On one final note, it's important to consider dietary diversity. There are many different microbes in our gut, and they all prefer slightly different fuel. Fiber is actually just a collective term. There are many different types of fiber, and the more different types of fiber we can get in, the more of our gut microbes we will feed. The study on the left-hand side confirmed this. To simplify, greater dietary diversity includes a greater variety of gut microbes, and we want a greater variety of gut microbes. Some of my top foods for gut microbial diversity include chicory or endive, apples, green bananas, oats, and also on an entirely random but very effective note, cold root vegetables like cold cooked potato and cold cooked carrots. These include a resistant starch that is almost super fuel for the gut microbes. That's all from me on the topic of gut health. Don't forget to check out the rest of these videos in the series.